Due parole sull'avversario di dopodomani, non sappiamo ancora chi sarà, o Tiafoe o Atman.
Sì, vediamo chi vince. Se Tiafoe è un giocatore che forse ci conosciamo un pochettino, no? È un giocatore che gioca in casa, è tanto talento, quindi sarà molto molto difficile, molto dura. Se Atman, vediamo come va, forse è un po' meno controllo.
Francis Tiafoe delivers a message to Sinner: "I've learned to suffer, whoever wants to beat me will have to work very hard." Francis Tiafoe is going through one of those moments when competitive growth begins to show in the details. The American continues to advance at the Miami Open 2026 after stringing together two demanding victories, against Mensik and Atman, both very significant from a mental standpoint, and he approaches his upcoming clash with Jannik Sinner with confidence. Beyond the result, Tiafoe made it clear in his remarks that his evolution is not just about tennis, but about a new way of understanding effort, pressure, and handling difficult moments. At 28 years old, the American knows he must take another step forward in his career if he wants to achieve his dreams, and that this Miami Open 2026 could be a great opportunity to explore his limits. This is how Francis Tiafoe spoke ahead of facing Sinner at the Miami Open 2026. A tougher win than the previous one. After securing a great win against a high-level opponent, Tiafoe had to face that classic tennis scenario, backing it up the next day. And there, as he himself admits, was the real test. Today was an even more important win than yesterday, the American confessed, highlighting the context of the match. The emotional toll from the previous day made the situation even more complex. "Yesterday I gave everything I had, and today I felt somewhat emotionally drained," Tiafoe explained, aware he wasn't in the best condition. Even so, he found a way to compete. "Being able to stay in it and pull through was very important," he added. Learning to suffer, the key to the new Tiafoe. One of the most noticeable changes in his mindset is his new relationship with suffering on court, something he used to struggle to handle. "Now I trust in suffering, in not giving anything away for free," said Tiafoe, reflecting a much stronger mentality. The American explained that his approach is to force his opponent to earn every point. "If they want to beat me, they'll have to do it by working for every point," he said. This idea also includes better understanding what's happening on the other side of the net. "Sometimes you're tired or nervous, but the other guy is too," he added, showing greater competitive awareness. That mental shift is what allows him to compete better in critical moments. "These are the kinds of matches I wasn't winning a year ago," Tiafoe admitted, offering one of the most revealing statements about his evolution. Another area Tiafoe has worked on is his ability to stay focused on the present, something essential in long, demanding matches. "For me, it's been key to learn how to be comfortable in discomfort," the American explained. He applies that concept directly from his training. "When you do hard things, you don't think about everything that's left, you think about that moment," he said. "I try to be a lead in that instant, in that point," he added, describing a philosophy tied to his improvement on court. Tiafoe also revealed that he uses visualization techniques to prepare before matches, something he has recently incorporated into his routine. "I close my eyes and imagine myself winning, shaking hands with my opponent," he confessed. That mental exercise helps him project positive scenarios. "I think about the plays that are going to help me win the match," he explained. Manifestation is very powerful, he added, showing growing confidence in his process. Excitement for a big challenge. With his eyes on the next match, Tiafoe showed great motivation for a high-level clash against Jannik Sinner. "I love these kinds of matches," said the American. The memory of their last meeting is still present. "Last time I had my chances," he recalled. Now, feeling better, he wants to take another step forward. "I'm excited to compete against him and see where my level is," he added. In a tournament where crowd support often plays in his favor, Francis Tiafoe once again presents himself at the Miami Open 2026 as one of the most dangerous players when he connects with his best version, one that blends talent, charisma, and an increasingly competitive mindset. Jannik Sinner responds to Alcaraz and leaves Djokovic behind. The Italian rises after the Spaniard's defeat and breaks a Masters 1000 record held by Djokovic for a decade. Jannik Sinner now has a huge opportunity to reclaim the world #1 ranking, and he has no intention of wasting it. The day after Carlos Alcaraz was eliminated in Miami, the Italian proved to be the machine João Fonseca described him as, barely allowing Corentin Moutet 5 games, 6-1, 6-4, in their round of 16 match. After winning Indian Wells a few days ago, he is on track to do the same at the Miami Open 2026, with only Alexander Zverev appearing on his horizon as a possible threat. And the German has lost the last 6 matches they've played, not beating Sinner in 3 years, before the Italian reached the level he has shown in recent seasons. Such is his dominance that he has taken one of Novak Djokovic's records. The Serbian not only leads in Masters 1000 titles but also held the record for consecutive wins and consecutive sets. The latter now belongs to the player from San Candido. Unbeaten since Shanghai in Masters 1000, Jannik Sinner is currently on a streak of 3 consecutive Masters 1000 titles, Paris at the end of last season, Indian Wells, and now his run in Miami, with the added fact that he hasn't dropped a set in his 3 matches here. Djokovic had set the record at 24, from Indian Wells to Monte Carlo 2016, and Sinner has now reached 26 across his last 3 Masters 1000 events. He achieved it in a match he won without much effort, finishing it in 1 hour and 11 minutes. Corentin Moutet was overwhelmed in the first set and only offered some resistance in the second, but not enough to threaten Sinner's victory. His next opponent will be American Alex Michelsen, who came back in 2 hours from a difficult position against Chile's Alejandro Tabilo, 3-6, 6-3, 6-4. The physical toll, despite playing again in less than 24 hours, shouldn't affect him too much at 21 years old. Even so, he seems to have very little chance against Sinner, who has beaten him in all their meetings without dropping a set. He can't even rely on home advantage, as Sinner has already beaten him twice on U.S. soil, Cincinnati and the U.S. Open, both in the summer of 2024. Farewell to the defending Miami Open champion. Among the matches that wrapped up the day, the defeat of defending champion Jakub Mensik also stood out. He lost to American Frances Tiafoe in a match where he had match points and which was decided 13-11 in the final tiebreak. The scoreline, 7-6-4, 4-6, 7-6-11, shows just how intense and close the match was. After his unexpected and early elimination against Sebastian Corda, the Spanish player returns home to reset before the crucial Monte Carlo Masters 1000, where Jannik Sinner could take the top spot in the ATP rankings from him. Carlos Alcaraz has decided to hit pause. The current world number 1 will head back to his hometown of Murcia to disconnect for a few days, a decision made after his early and painful defeat to Sebastian Corda. This necessary physical and mental break comes at a critical point in the calendar, right before the demanding European clay court swing. The first major challenge ahead for the Spaniard will be the Monte Carlo Masters 1000, a tournament that this year promises to be extremely tense for his ranking ambitions. Frances Tiafoe wants to return to being the kind of player capable of beating anyone. After more than a year of inconsistency, the American seems to have rediscovered his game at the Miami Open, where he has reached the quarterfinals after defeating a strong Terence Atman in 3 sets, 6-4, 1-6, 6-4, in 1 hour and 50 minutes. As a result, the player from Maryland will face Jannik Sinner for a place in the semifinals, against whom he has a negative head-to-head record of 1 win and 4 losses.